will prove all the doctors and the teachers wrong this day. We bind autism. We come against ADHD. Now in the name of Jesus. We break that curse. Amen. The devil is a liar. No way. It ain't happening. The word works, Drill. Write him a confession. Practice it with him. Teach our children to be sensitive, not handicap him. Be sensitive to him. That's the difference. Father, thank you for healing and restoration and peace.
You can't heal autism because it's not a defect. There are traits that you might be able to improve. There are skills you can help the child develop. You can make accommodations for the child. You can help him thrive during his developmental stages because you are accommodating him. But you can't pray away autism or ADHD. That's not how this shit works. How is it that people who are supposedly the messengers of God call people who are born with differences and who need accommodations demonic possessions? Why can't we just love our children the way they are? Why do we have to make them a defect? Even if they have a disability, even if they have a condition that you don't understand. Why can't you as a parent understand the child? Just because your child is acting in ways that you don't understand, that you feel like you cannot parent, it doesn't mean they're a defect. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with them. It just means that they have different needs that you might need to understand deeply. I mean, really think about what you're doing to the child when you're going to people who completely disregard the child's conditions. Just because you don't actively acknowledge something, it doesn't mean that thing doesn't exist. Pretend like something doesn't exist just because it's not visible doesn't make it go away. If anything, you're probably doing more damage than good. Neurodivergent people, particularly autistic people, need accommodations in a very specific way. It's a trauma on its own when you ignore their needs and they have to grow up in a certain way, constantly being gaslit, constantly being denied of their needs and their disability. While it's a spectrum, it's still a condition that is different from a neuronormative person. And likely, if your child has autism, you could have autism as well, and your partner. If you really love your child, the way you show up for the child is by learning about them, the way they need to be understood. You don't have to fix them. They're not a broken piece. They're not a defect. You don't have to change them. You don't have to heal them. A child just needs to be loved and accepted unconditionally. You see, for autistic people, being treated like they're not autistic is a trauma on its own. This is why a lot of them have mental health issues when they grow up. And a lot of them have a short life expectancy because they off themselves. If you want to prevent that for your child, love them the way they are. Stop trying to fix them. They're not a defect.